On the first morning of memory, light found him before language did.
Instinct was his only map, and hunger his only compass. The world breathed around him, a living ocean of green.
For the first time, he saw another. Not prey, not predator, but something like himself.
Or weren't.
There were words. There were eyes that learned to understand.
The forest spoke in crashes and whispers, and today it spoke of change.
They were drawn to danger they did not yet have a name for.
Here was a fragment of the sky to earth, in a world of teeth and claws. The smallest voices were the easiest to lose.
In the shadow of giants, the future shook with fear.
Something new sparked that day. An instinct not to flee, but to care.
They did not yet know the word family, but they had already begun to form one. Compassion meant nothing if hunger won.
Together, they stepped beyond the boundaries of yesterday.
Beyond the forest lay a world they had never imagined. Where many feet walked, there would be meat, or at least the memory of it.
With a single strike, survival learned a new shape.
Strength shared became something greater than strength alone.
The storm tested their shelter and revealed their bond.
For the first time, the cold world outside stayed outside.
A night survived became a promise. There could be more of them. Three paths began to weave into one.
From curiosity came play. From play came learning.
In a world of hunters, being watched could mean being claimed.
He did not yet know the word protector, but he understood the role.
Water could feed, drown, or carry them to somewhere new.
Little hands turned chance into play, and play into skill. They could not name the weather, but they learned to read its warnings. The sky roared, and they trembled, but they stayed.
In destruction, they began to notice patterns.
They learned that not all abundance was meant for the mouth. Together they carved a path, each strength filling another's weakness. Caution at the edge of hunger kept them alive.
Their voices met stone, and stone answered back.
Meaning slipped quietly into their movements, long before it became sound.
In a trembling mirror, a mind glimpsed its own shape. Laughter came with no purpose, yet it bound them tighter than hunger. They were small beneath the sky, but not alone beneath it. The night taught them its language of distance and danger.
From small hands came accidents, and accidents became beginnings.
Knowledge grew in silence, passed not by words, but by watching.
Strength, guided by curiosity, became invention. The world crawled with life, small, quick, and full of lessons.
They were not the giants of their age. Not yet.
Chance offered a feast, and they learned to take without waste. Some hunters kill with claws, others kill with time. Order came before understanding. The land pulsed with movement, and they learned to follow its rhythm.
Imitation became instinct, and instinct became evolution.
Even the fiercest waters invited awe.
Others had walked this world and left whispers for those who followed.
They did not know the meaning, only that meaning existed.
The world shifted and demanded they shift with it. Strength meant little against emptiness. Where others saw death, she saw possibility. Nourishment came not from taste, but from survival. Where death lingered, danger watched.
Survival demanded fury as much as fear.
A single act of courage can shift the fate of a family. In touch, they found trust. Even the smallest gift could change a heart. The day had tried to break them, but instead bound them tighter. Light danced where darkness had once ruled.
Peace was fragile, but it was theirs. Joy became the first language they all understood. From death, she saw rebirth. The old giants of the earth gave freely. And so they followed the wind toward the heart of their destiny.
Where water settled, life gathered, thirsty, wary, and full of promise. Caution became their first rule at the edge of abundance.
Curiosity reached into the water, chasing what it did not yet know it needed.
He began to understand that not all danger had teeth.
Her hands gathered tools long before she knew their purpose.
Every journey is drawn by a line between what was and what could be. Alone, they might have been swept away. Together, they endured.
In the space of a heartbeat, trust became as vital as air.
On the other side of struggle, the world was not the same, and neither were they.
There were moments when survival meant simply breathing together.
Above their heads hung the future, though they did not yet see it.
In the smallest kernels, she sensed a new kind of strength.
They had found more than food. They had found the beginning of plenty.
Without knowing the word, her hands performed the first act of making.
Strength began to honor subtlety.
The urge to stay took root where the land gave enough.
Together, they shaped the first fragile echo of a home.
For the first time, they did not only claim safety, they defended it.
Accidents, too, can shape the ages.
They had no word for roof, only the feeling of not being cold.
They saw power they did not command, yet.
They reached towards something that could give life, or take it.
From her persistence came the first whisper of mastery over fire.
Life did not only grow where it had always grown. It could be invited.
They began to defend not just each other, but tomorrow's food.
In her hands, repetition became invention.
They did not yet know the words future or harvest, only that something good was growing.
The world had not chosen him as a leader. He had simply become one.
In a world that never stopped moving, they carved a pocket of stillness.
From claw and hunger they had risen, step by fragile step, to this, a place, a bond,